Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday is it the 11th? Going wrong wrist. It is the 11th. Heading to work at 8:10 in the morning. Oh, do you know? The foldy mirrors on reasonably priced SUV, I've decided that they're going to be quite random when they fold and unfold. It's pretty pointless. Keep pressing a button to unfold them, or they don't fold in when I park it up. So morning vlog for Mr. Nellis, because Mr. Nellis likes a morning vlog in the daylight. Sorry Richard, apparently weather has other thoughts about that. Yeah, it's been quite a foggy week off really, and we're in a bit of a pea super. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficult vlog because I'm going to have to actually concentrate on where I'm going, because it's quite hard to see anything at all. Bin day, of course, the bin wagon's getting in the way of everyone. So yeah, been another pretty crazy week. 2020 continues just to try and wipe me out completely. I just can't really see anything. So obviously last Friday I'd had staff off. It was a busy day. That turned into all this week as well, which is unexpected due to family issues. So I've basically been running about trying to do multiple tasks at once, which never works that great. Plus, of course, it has been really busy. So because of that, I ended up doing a load of roasting on Sunday, because I knew I wouldn't have time to do that and do the invoices and answer the phones and prepare orders and pack coffee and everything else. So I did a load of roasting Sunday, and also while I was roasting, packed and labelled loads of coffee ready for Monday. Even dispatched some Hermes parcels just to be ultra on the ball, pretty much like a full day's work on a Sunday. Then back to it Monday, and yeah, it's just been kind of flat out. We've had a lot of roasted coffee orders. A lot of green coffee's been going out, surprisingly. Looks like a lot of people roasting coffee for Christmas, and more coffee coming in. Another big pallet, 700 odd kilos came in, 300 odd kilos of which went back out again on the pallet. Oh good, the roadworks are still here as well. Marvellous. And the worst thing is, they've got these roadworks here that must have started yesterday, causing traffic chaos, of course, because it's over a side road to a housing estate. So they've got three-way lines. So you've got 90% of the traffic going this way and towards Bradford, and 10% coming from this housing estate on the side. But of course, they weight everyone equally. So if you want to get out of the housing estate, no problem. But if you want to get to Queensbury onto Halifax or into Bradford the other way, massive problem. You're going to be waiting for about 3 hours just for this stupid housing estate light. I really don't know why they either don't just do that lighting system so it only does every other light shift instead of every single one, because there's just no need. Because there isn't a mile-long queue waiting on the housing estate. There's 3 cars, if you're lucky. But no. Or they just have a man organising it. But no, nothing like that. You know, doing roadworks will just block up the entire road system. And it's like, we won't take it down for rush hour and then put it back up afterwards. No, we'll just keep it running all the way through the rush hour and block everyone's mornings up, so they all arrive to work late and grumpy. Thanks. Very helpful. And that probably yesterday morning there was no one working on it either, so it probably won't be now. It'd just be loads of bollards and things, no holes or anything for cars to avoid. They just shove them in the side of the road and everyone will drive past. But no, nothing's so easy. So yeah, today I've got some big roasting to do. I've done a lot of little roasting again, a bit like last week, because A, I had smaller amounts that I needed kind of immediately, and B, I've got loads of packing, more retail packs. If I see another 250 gram ground pop coffee pack again, it'll be too soon. I'm so sick of dosing out 250 grams and putting in the grinder and grinding it, it gets all ground coffee everywhere. And it would have been one of those things, with all these packs to, I could grind the bulk coffee, let's say 10 kilos of coffee for all the 250 gram packs in the big grinder, which is fine, except that gets it everywhere, because grinding coffee just gets bits, flakes and stuff everywhere, all over you, everything around you, and whatever else. But I could bulk grind that, then put it in the dosing machine and dose the ground coffee into the bags. Now that would make less mess on the bags, because grinding each individual bit, obviously you get lots of mess on the bags and you try and clean the bags up, it's annoying. But I'm just trying to weigh it up, and then the thing is, then the weigh machine that I'm constantly having to do beans with is going to have ground coffee in, and I'm going to have to like open it up and hoover out the bits of ground before it be. I was kind of, I'll just do beans, because then I can switch back quickly to other beans if I need other stuff quicker in the middle of these. So that's what I've been doing. But like I say, it's just so laborious. I mean, the grinder I've got, which is a Mahalaking, is a ridiculously expensive retail grinder. It's built for the job. It is fast. I mean, it's super fast. It's probably as fast grinding those little 250 gram packs as the big, massive bulk grinder is. No, he's not going that way, so I was going to let him out, but he's not coming this way. So there you are. Yeah, see, there's to the left a housing estate where one car might possibly want to come out of, but they get exactly the same camera time as all the traffic going this way and the other way. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's quite a lot. 6, that's quite a lot. 50, or 7. That it? Yeah, that's it now. 7. But yeah. So today I've got I've got 20 kilos of Brazilian yellow Ikatu and 10 kilos of Tanzanian for an order. Which means I'll also be bulk roasting some more Kenya eggs. I'm just out of that. Ethiopian Yirgacheffe could do with throwing another 30 kilo batch of that through, because we're caning it. And then I'm going to have to kind of like go round stuff and work out, because I lost track. We spent much of this week with just boxes full of bags of coffee with the labels in, because I've been bagging them up while roasting into boxes and then printing the labels, and they've been on one side, and no one's had a chance to actually put labels or anything until we need it, so it's just been sat there, multiple boxes all over the place. But we're steadily getting caught up now. See what just comes in during the day today, but I already know I've got a lot back to board. There's a lot of roasted coffee that I roasted yesterday but didn't have time to pack it, so that needs to go out today. Alright, I'm gonna move. It's gonna be like a half-hour plus vlog. Thank goodness A, I set off pretty early, and B, remaining staff is arriving late because they normally get a lift in with the one that isn't on, which is kind of awkward. So we've actually got loads of time, and I don't think there's any deliveries due in today.
Warning, speed trap limit 30 miles
We had
per hour.
3 big deliveries, ironically, yesterday afternoon. About 3 o'clock it turned up now. It was quite good, a load of disposable cups that we run out of, and then Zuma Spice Chai Latte and Zuma Hot Chocolates to stock up for Christmas. Because that's of course the thing now, is we're on 11th of December and everyone's like, oh, it's ages until Christmas, 25th. But in shipping stuff terms, it isn't, because lots of places are already starting to say, you know, middle of next week, that's it, your last orders before Christmas, we won't be shipping again. So trying to work out exactly how much stock I'm going to be needing, which is even harder this year because nothing is normal. You know, every year for God knows, probably the last 15 years, I had a good idea of what was going out, regular customers, regular stock going out, and it was quite simple to just work out exactly, you know, what we're probably going to need, and you always overstocked a little, but you got, you know, what you needed in. And this year, nothing is regular. Just there's no consistency. There's so many customers that we haven't seen back since February, well, March, first lockdown. Things like offices, because so many are home working still, just don't get that business. So things like filter coffee sachets, just barely selling any of those, just been sat there. But green coffee, selling loads of now. Fortunately, that's easy to stock. I've got quite a few tons stock built up of various ones. Obviously it's a bit harder because there's so many different origins and I can't have loads of every single origin floating around, but I've got a good chunk. Then obviously green coffee means we've got green coffee to sell as green coffee, and roasted coffee, so that covers that side of it really. Disposables is really hard because that's just up and down and don't really know what people are going to want. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've just trimmed to bare minimum, or even just getting to order, because there's just no point buying stuff in that isn't selling basically at all. So I don't know, it's kind of tricky. I've ordered that in because I know I've got some regular customers for the Zuma product now, and I want to make sure I have a bit spare for the Christmas break. Other than that, I don't know what much more I can order in. I've got plenty of cup stock now, unless people go really crazy. But again, it just all depends. I mean, since lockdown 2, we again lost a lot of people that had reopened, and of course on to tier 3 they still haven't come back, because they just can't only do takeout. That's kind of a limitation for a lot of places, and of course if you're a bar, cafe bar type of thing, again just doing takeout isn't really an option. Of course the thing people forget as well is, for a business, it's all going to be worthwhile opening in the first place, because you have fixed costs. If you're opening, you've got to have the product to sell, staff to sell it, you've got all the costs of the power, electricity, everything else. And if you're opening and people aren't particularly coming in, you can end up losing money for being open. So it's not the greatest situation to be in, and I can see why a lot are still just staying shut and getting the furlough on staff payments. But of course that doesn't really help with rent, rates, electricity, gas, everything else, because you know, there's no government brakes on all those fixed costs for a business. So basically the furlough payment for the owner, it is just going straight to all the utilities and rent and rates and everything else costs, so they're getting now. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think we're due a review again to see who's on what tiers. London, which should have gone on tier 3, but of course London is too important to have a high tier and shut down all the important London things. But they might now put them in it because they've realised that's a complete critical surge point. Obviously we've got the vaccines slowly rolling out. It's going to be even more slowly now that they've discovered, oh surprise, surprise, we rushed it out and didn't notice that certain people are going to be adversely affected by it. So people with allergies apparently are going to be out of luck. Should have maybe gone then, but and that's only at the very, very start of it rolling out. So wouldn't surprise me if we find out much more problems with the vaccine as it goes out to a wider population base, because the testing base must have been about 3 people called Bernard, based on the speed that they've managed to get the vaccine out. And normally it's many, many multiples of years with hundreds and thousands of tests on a major wide demographic. You can't just test a few people, it's got to be from the complete, you know, complete range of humans, you know, different colours, creeds. Everyone's different. Everyone, you know, everyone has their own different nuances and things they can and can't handle, and that. And it's going to come out the more they do testing that it's going to adversely affect certain people. It's undoubtedly going to. So we'll see how that progresses. I mean, whether it'll stall the rollout of the vaccine. But of course, I mean, the other thing is mass vaccination is just an impossibility, I think. I don't think they've got any of the resources to do that. I mean, they're starting with, I believe, key NHS staff and then care homes, and then going to try and work out from there if they can expand to a wider base. But like I say, I don't know. I don't really know. So I don't see a lot of hope for anything returning to much normality. The only thing to be said will be to get to late March, April, get sunny and warm again and everyone outside. That'll probably give a bit more of a breather again, at least. I say, because this sort of weather's not helping much, because no one wants to be outside when it's cold, it's wet, it's foggy and miserable. And again, from the takeout perspective, you know, for a lot of coffee shops, you know, the thing is, they want, you know, the business was people go out shopping, especially this time of year, Christmas, go shopping around town and it's cold and it's miserable, so you want to go in a coffee shop and get warm, have a nice coffee or tea or hot chocolate and some pastries or whatever else with a sandwich, and sit down and get warm in the middle of your shopping and do that. And of course that's what they can't do. They're now going to go into the shop, buy a takeout coffee and a pastry in a bag. They can go outside and sit in the freezing cold and consume them. And it's a fair bit, not many people really want to do that. You know, you've got to be pretty tenacious if you're going to sit in the cold to drink your coffie. I mean, you might take it if you... See, I don't even know if you're getting a bus somewhere, if you could drink the coffee on the bus. You're supposed to have a mask on all the time on the bus. So, that's kind of the problem, you know. I mean, this year, or this period of time, summer, fine, you know, people sit outside all day. Drinking the takeout stuff, but in winter now, no one wants to do it. So even if you're doing takeout coffee sales it's pretty thin going. So I don't know. I don't hold out much hope for Christmas, other than it being Christmas and not much happening. We'll see what happens into the new year. And if things get any better, probably not. I'm not overly confident on that. What's going on here? Wow, there's even a massive jam down here. It's going to be like the longest vlog I've done in a very, very long time. And it's not actually normally this gridlocked on the way to work, it isn't. Just leave this entryway open. Oh, he's behind me, wants me to go though, so he'll be cursing me. Don't leave it open, I want to go down that road. There you go, mate. And the one behind him. But you can actually cut all this queue out. If you go along there, you can come back down right near the end, which you could do. But I'm not in a rush. Who wants to be in a rush to go and do more invoices, more shipping labels, pack more coffee? Just coffee. 30 odd Hermes parcels a day at the moment. Mostly hitting 2 lockers, but I've been lucky this week. I've been very lucky actually. The Hermes guy's been emptying the Windsor's one at about 1 o'clock every day. So literally I've been able to go at 5:30, dump the lot. Is this woman waiting? Yeah, thought she was. You know, or 23 of the lot anyway. You see, I left a gap there, Van. I know you're turning right, but I left a gap there.
Warning, K-band radar.
He's not allowed to go down there because of the school. Oh, he's letting his kid out. Oh, well, that's alternative, isn't it? And then someone else wants to go there, man. School chaos. We're not going anywhere for some reason. You wonder, don't you? Absolute drop your kid off right at the blocked road. Genius. Oh dear. So, I've blockchain. What's been going on? Oh look, another order. More entering the product. Is it gonna like go down the entire road again? Oh, I'll let him go. I'm just feeling so generous today. So generous. A nice guy. Letting everyone out. Letting people cross the road. Not crashing into anything. You see, they say distraction of talking. Yeah, see, saw that car all the way up there, and he can go now because the lights are red. I could have just gone forward and blocked all the road up and been a complete numpty. But no, see, awareness, which is amazing for me because it's a 29 on the morning. I've not had any coffee yet, and I'm actually vaguely aware. It's good going. So yeah, Hive blockchain, been really steady away again. I've got ideas of things I want to do, but time and incentive. I mean, a lot of nights this week I've been invoicing Amazon orders remote logged into work, because again, there's just so much on and doing the pay. I mean, the trouble is, there's all the invoicing, but all the filing isn't getting done, and that's backing up, which is going to mean when eventually staff come back, I'm still going to be covering a lot of what they did, because there's going to be so much of what they normally do that I'm not doing, for 2 reasons really. One, I don't have time, 2, the bits I'm not doing, I'm not that sure I know exactly how to do them, which I know is terribly bad for someone who runs a bit. I know I could work it out, but it would require a lot of effort, and I just don't have the time either, so there's no point. I'll leave that to stack up, and I can continue doing the bits that I can do, so they don't have to do them, and then they'll be able to catch up on the paperwork side. But this is it, this is the whole thing. There's just so much, you know, invoices have to go on the accounting program, stock needs to be entered. Yep, there's a bit of a bus versus bus issue going on here. Wow, we're moving. Fine. Is this more roadworks? Would you believe it? How many roadworks can you actually get caught in one journey? What is this? It's like it's nothing. Is there a hole there that we've got to massively? Oh yes, look, it's a little tiny hole just by the side of the road. Go on, put a tin plate over it when you're not doing out in that hole. Goodness me. So yes, very time consuming, all that paperwork, but you know, I've not done bad actually, to be fair, considering I've shipped loads of orders, roasted loads of coffee, packed loads of coffee, and done loads of the invoicing, and done all loads of parcel labels, and I'm kind of keeping up with entering stuff and whatever else. Plus, I've had to organise complete palaver with a roaster going to Scotland, a coffee roaster, came across from Turkey. So normally what happens, the shipping company bring it over on a wagon, and then it goes to a local pallet shipping service that then distribute it out to wherever our customer is. But with coronavirus and everything else, all the shipping agents that we can get shipping from Turkey went stupidly expensive, really expensive. So Topa have been having to like fish for the best quotes to get us the best price. But obviously when you're getting a cheap service compared to others, it's not always going to be the most quality service, and like I said, we didn't have very much tracking at all for this roaster, and then Wednesday we were asking all week when it's in Wednesday, they're like, it's going to be delivered next Wednesday. This is taking ages. Then someone else from Topa says, oh, it's been delivered today. They were like, well, hang on, we're going to warn the person who's going to receive a 550 kilo wooden crate that it's coming. You know, we might not be at the premises or anything. You can't just suddenly drop him. So then I get some guy from Turkey ringing up, who fortunately speaks some English, or better English than my Turkish, let's put it that way. So he rings up, and it was on about, so he wants to deliver it today or tomorrow. I found out from the customer tomorrow, Thursday morning. So rang him back, okay, that's fine. And it has to be on a tail lift. And he's like, tail lift, problem. And I'm like, well, you know, this guy doesn't have a forklift, and it's a 550 kilo crate, and we always have things sent on a tail lift, and Topa always book them on a tail lift. Much back and forth. Basically him not really doing anything apart from let me look, problem, tail lift, problem, and I was just trying to get rid of him, because I was like, well, this is getting us nowhere. And I assume what's happened, I've not really got to the bottom of it, I assume what's happened is this wagon has had a full load for the UK for various places, and it's come over, including our crate, and it didn't have a tail lift. So basically they got it on, and there's no way to get it off. at the other end because my customer didn't have a forklift. He needed it on a tail-lift vehicle. So to solve this particular sticky situation, I managed to find out from our local pallet network haulier, who move all our pallets for us, and were also exceptionally helpful, Claude Helliwell, and said, right, what's the nearest of your depots to this postcode where this crate's going, and can they accept this crate for us and offload it off this Turkish wagon and then deliver it on a tail lift? And they said, oh yeah, fine. So that's what I did. I had it redirected to save the confusion. Just means paying, obviously, for this receipt of pallet, crate and redelivery of it and tail lift. So now hopefully that will now be delivered today, which is a bit later than it wants it to be, but at least it's been done. Right, so that's it. Yeah, so hog blockchain, I've just not had a chance. I've been too busy. Even Sublime Sunday ended up on a Monday because I was too pooped from roasting coffee all day, and also I was doing invoices for ages on the night, Amazon invoices, so there's no chance of that. So I think we'll get in out of the wet and off the street, and then we can do Mr. Nellis's words of wisdom. And then I'll go and start my day with a coffee. A very nice Rwandan just come in actually. It's blueberry candy floss. Very 89 cup score, very high cup score actually. So I've been partaking a lot in that. Very tasty coffee. The longest vlog in a very, very long time this is going to be. Through one thing and another. Alright, so we'll multitask. I'll put the fob back away here. Press that down. Go into here. No, not that one. Mr. Nellis, Mr. Nellis. Now see that the doors are closing magically. So, Mr. Nellis says, my things to talk about on your vlog. Chris Pearson's birthday this past Saturday, as Andy has moved house from Holywell Green to Linton. Lovely. Me has been Christmas shopping at the Broadway in Bradford on Wednesday morning. Lovely. I've not done any Christmas shopping, Richard. Pretty unlikely I'm going to either. Right, that's it. So have a good weekend. Week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. See ya.